Well, thanks for having me, Hala. Again, I just watched the remarks that were made by the U.S. President King Abdullah a while ago, a short while ago, while receiving him at the White House. Unfortunately, Trump continued to dig into his bizarre suggestion of moving over 2 million Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to Jordan and Egypt, while continuing to provide some very confusing and contradicting details on what exactly does that mean. Only yesterday he was making statements saying directly, we're going to buy, we're going to own Gaza. And then today, while sitting next to King Abdullah, said, no, we're not going to buy anything. There's nothing to buy. And
Does
when
this
one
suggest,
reporter
Mr.
asked
Dawoud,
him,
that he will take it by force?
well, when one reporter asked him under what authority, because that's again one of the the strangest thing about Mr. Trump's proposal, when he continues saying, I want to run Gaza, I want to own Gaza, I want to buy Gaza. And the reporter asked him, under what authority you're going to do this? And he simply answered back, under U.S. authority. Again, it was definitely rather embarrassing for the Jordanian king to sit next to the U.S. president listening to those kinds of details that contradict the entire pillars of the peace process that started more than 30 years ago, which is based on the fact that Palestine is occupied territories, Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the solution that the international community under U.S. sponsorship is a two-state solution. Israel's withdrawal from those occupied territories, nothing at all about forcibly deporting the Palestinians. And again, I think the Jordanian king, of course, had to be diplomatic, sitting next to the U.S. president, and he did not provide an answer to all the questions on his position on that plan, saying that Egypt, along with other Arab countries, as well as European nations, will provide the United States with an answer. He noted that there's going to be some sort of meeting between Egypt, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia in Riyadh pretty soon to answer back this U.S. plan. You know that there is going to be an Arab summit here in Cairo, October 27, in a matter of less than 3 weeks. So probably, the king avoided answering or approving. He did not at all approve those proposals made by Trump, but he said that there's going to be a collective Arab response that's going to be delivered to the United States about this plan that threatens the entire, not just the ceasefire agreement that was recently signed, but it's threatened the entire region with creating tremendous instability, particularly for Jordan, for Egypt. Everybody knows how complicated the situation in Jordan. It cannot take at all any more refugees or placing them in some slot of land. But at the same time as well, maybe we saw a kind of a retreat from the U.S. president again compared to yesterday when he was asked whether he's going to use economic assistance to Egypt and Jordan as a leverage to make them accept the 2 million Palestinian refugees. Yesterday he said maybe we may look into this, but today, when sitting next to King Abdullah of Jordan, he said, no, we don't need to resort to this. We do give the two countries a lot of money, but we think we are above that we can work and cooperate together. But again, it's very difficult to understand Mr. Trump's reaction to Arab rejection, widespread rejection, not just Arab and international rejection of his plan, by continuing to say, no, the Palestinians will welcome moving. They will be very happy to move. And when reporters repeatedly asked him, the Palestinians do not want to move out, he ignored answering that kind of question and saying, no, Gaza is a place of destruction, place of war, nobody can live there. Ignoring actually who caused all this. Israel, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his former defense minister Yoav Gallant, are officially accused by the International Criminal Court of committing war crimes inside
And
Gaza. This
genocide.
destruction, this death is caused by Israel and not caused by an earthquake. And this is something, of course, Trump totally ignores.
Exactly. So we have just seen this meeting, and as you said, Mr. Dawood sending mixed messages. But how could King Abdullah II's meeting with Trump shape the involvement of the United States in the Middle East peace efforts?
I think it's very important for the U.S. president to listen directly to Arab leaders. I mean, it's very good that he met today with Jordan's King Abdullah. He's been a long-standing friend for the United States. Jordan has always been a key ally for the United States over decades. So he's going to give him an honest opinion and reflection of the Arab point of view concerning his plan. There are also direct talks between Egypt and the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the U.S. President. They spoke over the phone. There are like repeated connection already. The Egyptian Foreign Minister, Mr. Badr Abdel Ati, is in Washington. He met yesterday with the U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Rubio himself is going to be coming to the region by the end of this week. He's going to Saudi Arabia, to Qatar, United Arab Emirates, and to meet and to Israel to meet with those U.S. allies. I'm noting particularly the Arab nations to listen to their point of view. So hopefully, listening to all those like opinions and stands by all those Arab countries who are going to be directly affected by this irresponsible and outlandish plan by Mr. Trump that is going to make hopefully some sort of change. Although, I mean, all the signs, to be honest, do not look good. I mean, even if Mr. Trump walks back a little bit on his plan for Gaza, I mean, again, there were some worrying statements he made today about the future of the West Bank, the annexation, the Israeli insistence on annexing parts of the West Bank, and he said that this is going to work out fine without clarifying what exactly this means. When Benjamin Netanyahu was in the United States in
Works
Washington.
fine for who? Works fine for which party?
Considering Mr. Trump's stand and his point of view and his kind of extreme bias to Israel, of course, he means it's going to work fine for Israel. I mean, he's already. I mean, let's not forget that Mr. Trump was a president for the United States between 2017 and 2021, early 2021. And during that period, he did present a plan called Peace for Prosperity, which included Israel annexing parts of the West Bank and promising some very sort of unconnected Palestinian state. So, I mean, already there is a willingness and acceptance by the U.S. administration for the annexation of territories by Israel in the West Bank. And I'm very worried and concerned about a possible official U.S. position declared by President Trump that he's going to approve that kind of annexation after he has already approved during his first term the recognition of occupied East Jerusalem as Israel's capital. So again, and one final point, if I might refer to Hala, his statements today further complicate the shaky ceasefire that's existing in Gaza. You already know, of course, about Hamas' statement yesterday saying that they are going to postpone the release of hostages next Saturday. And then that was followed by a very strange threat that even the Israelis did not make by Mr. Trump, saying all the hostages have to be released on Saturday and not just according to the schedule that was agreed by his own personal envoy.
Yes.